Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, females and females, whatever you identify as, welcome to the group chat, man. Welcome to the group chat. This is episode 2. As you can see, there's a guest here today.
True that.
Lopez in the building, man.
Where is it?
Where is it?
Where is it? Man, welcome on the podcast.
Welcome to the girl, man.
Gable said he got the welcome.
Welcome to the girl, man.
That man got the welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the girl, man. Lopez, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Second episode. Before we introduce you, though, I want to know, did you listen to the first episode?
Yes, I did.
What you think?
I liked
Your
it.
thoughts?
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
3 things we did good, 3 things we did bad. Or we could improve on.
Something.
You guys stayed on topic.
We stayed on topic.
You guys got deep.
Got deep.
And then I like how honest you guys were.
How honest. Okay. 3 things.
Authenticity.
Authentic guys.
Improve.
You get me?
Better questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Personal.
More personal. So is that a 2-in-1 or that's
like
one?
that.
Okay. So what's another one?
Yeah, personal. Today's a big topic.
Today is a big topic, but what's another?
Cultural diversity. Include other people from different cultures. Their perspectives.
Okay, for sure. That's what we have you here
That's
today.
what we have you, like what we're
You
doing
know?
now, you feel me?
That's what we have you here today.
Wow.
So I appreciate that.
Hablo español. Siempre.
We're diverse. You know we're not diverse.
Los
Un poquito,
penqueques.
pero.
Los penqueques, los huevos, 7, 8, you know?
What?
What?
I might just say
Español.
Reynolds,
Español.
Come on, boy.
Hey, man. But let's get into our intro, though. Because last episode, y'all got to know us. Today, y'all get to know Lopez. Lopez, you can correct me as I read these things.
Okay.
You can stop me and correct me, whatever I get wrong. So Lopez graduated from Holy Cross College. It's where I attend currently. Archie and Gabe previously attended. She graduated with her bachelor's in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
She's currently attending IUSB to receive her master's degree in social work.
Get a smart girl.
She really is.
Smart girl.
She's locked in, man.
Brains, we call that
Yeah,
brains.
Big brains.
She's receiving that degree this upcoming May. Congratulations in advance.
Clap it up.
Well done, ma'am.
She's currently interning at Center for Positive Change, where she psychoeducates both men and women to stop violence against men, women, and children with, while offering one-on-one therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, help me.
Welcome. It's our honor to be your presence.
It really is our honor to have you because today's topic is really deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like earlier I was talking to Archie about like how we transition from college to to college of mental health.
It's a good
I thought
look, though. It goes together.
it's great, but I thought we were gonna go something like light. But like Archie said, like
Are we diving into it, man?
Get into it right that way.
but yeah, this is the whole point of the group chat. Lopez, anything else you want the people to know about you that I didn't touch on?
No, it's pretty much you got everything to the point.
Yeah,
Appreciate you guys having me here.
for sure. She is quiet,
She
but
is
you know
not
if you
quiet,
hear,
bro.
if
We gonna bring her on
this
the
is
show
called
right now.
this is called a group chat for a reason. though. You just be yourself, like you said. Last episode, you appreciate how honest we were, authentic, right? We're our true, authentic self here. So be free. This is the whole point here. We're just having a conversation. Forget the camera, forget the mic. It's just us, you know.
Yep.
Like I love that about like last episode. You know how smooth we just talk, man. Like I think that's one of the most impactful conversation we've had. A lot of great conversations like before, and I when I look back on it, I was like, dang, bro. Like we went straight, just talking about things that can help us, learning from one another. You know. Yeah. But we'll get into it today, though. But before we get into it, man, like I was looking on Instagram, like just scrolling, bro, and I saw this one quote, and I think this is perfect with the topic we're talking about today. And I just want to hear what you guys think, Lopez. We'll go like this. You know how we. Let's start with Lopez today.
Yeah, man.
Let's start with Lopez.
Start with it.
We'll start over here. And I just want to know what you guys hear when you hear this quote. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the quote goes like this: "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another." The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. What comes to mind when you hear that? And I think this is perfect because of what we're talking about today.
So personally, just knowing the field that I'm in, a lot of people tend to like let their thoughts take over themselves. And what I mean by that is like our thoughts control our emotions, and then they control like what we do with those emotions, like our behavior. So I think when stress takes over, instead of thinking beforehand, we just react instead of thinking about what we can do when we're stressed out. Like, how can I calm myself down? Who can I go to when I'm stressed out? When it does come, what do I do about it? Instead of thinking ahead of time and preventing from outbursts happening or anything, we just don't know what to do about it, and that's when we make mistakes or consequences start to arise, stuff like that.
Okay.
Keep on repeating the quote.
The quote goes like this again: "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another." Greatest weapon.
That's loaded though, but I mean, when I hear it, what I think about it is, it's almost like emotional maturity and also like emotional intelligence, right? Because you can't allow something to stress you out that you don't have any control over. Sometimes we do that sometimes, or even as like young men growing up too, like, if you stress about something or something pisses you off, you can get angry and react before actually thinking, about something too. So I think that just comes down to like, like having like emotional maturity to know how to react to certain things and what you let bother you or stuff like that. I think.
I feel like sometimes it's hard to choose what how you react to, because at the end of the day, like, sometimes the thought like eats you up. Sometimes I feel like most of the time I give a lot of like a power to my thoughts, if that makes sense. Like I let it like take control over me rather than taking control over that thought. You feel me? Like most of the time I feel like I'm strong enough to do it, but in that sense it's like, damn, it's right there. You feel me? Like I don't know how to bottle it or how to go against that, but again, it's like the ability to choose it. You gotta think about something positive, and go off that instead of just letting that eat you up alive. Because I've been doing that long, but now I feel like I mature a bit, and that's where it comes into like intelligence, like you said, emotional intelligence. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. For me personally, I remember my freshman year, I used to be stressed a lot over just things I couldn't control. But just like being in college and just learning how to manage my time and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I just learned like how to prioritize certain things, like make plans and not focused about other things. And that just kind of helped me like deal with a lot of stress.
What things like what, bro?
A lot of it had to do with soccer, like just dealing with soccer and being in classes and getting this work done, this assignment done, calling my parents back home, like talking to my sisters and all that stuff. Like it was just too much at times.
Yeah. I feel like when stress, like when you're dealing with stress, the best thing to do is talk to the people you love, because like love could overpower stress a lot of times. I feel like most of the time when I'm here, bro, I'm stressed about exam. That's this man, bro. But as soon as I start kicking a ball, bro, like everything goes away, and I feel like that's how I deal with a lot of stress. Playing soccer and stuff like that. But you can't play soccer forever, so you gotta find something to deal with that. Find a way to deal with that properly, because at the end of the day, the longer run, it could eat you up, bro. Like I said, so you gotta deal with that, and not just put it in the back of your mind and be like, oh, I'm gonna try to do something to forget, like drink, like the basic stuff. But you gotta deal with it for sure, and there's many ways to deal with it. You can see people, you can seek help, and I feel like that's the hardest thing to do, seek help.
Yeah, talk to a psychologist.
Let me ask you this: where did you guys learn how to deal with your stress?
It's a good question too, cause like me, I've always been running to soccer. Like that's how I feel like I deal with my stress, or
100%.
Or like when I step inside the pitch, everything goes away. I don't know if that's dealing with it or you're just focusing on the game at the moment, but I feel like soccer helps me a lot Like when I'm going through a lot, I just want to kick the ball around. I just want to do something fun with the ball. You know, I can't wait for the next game. You know, I think soccer helps a lot. I think it goes for all of us.
Nah, I mean for me, 100% what he just said. I think that's kind of like because growing up I didn't really play soccer until I moved to the U.S. And then when I came to the U.S., that's kind of like my safe haven in a way when I started playing soccer, because I really started playing soccer seriously when I moved here. And if I'm stressed about being home, I'm stressed about being away from home, from my family, I just go play soccer and kick the ball around, and then I'm fine again. That's why when I play soccer, I'm happiest. I'm not just laughing, having fun, enjoying the game and stuff like that. So I think 100% to what he said, that's kind of like what we use in a way to.
You think, is that putting it off, or is that a way of dealing with it? You think, or is that just putting it aside?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, it is a good thing. Like, a lot of athletes do turn to, like, sports and stuff like that to deal with their stress. But I think my curiosity or my worry is when it comes to injuries. Like, a lot of times when players come to injuries, how do they deal with that stress? Because they can't play soccer, or they're off for a certain amount of weeks. So what else can you feed into, or what we call them coping mechanisms? Like reading a book, I don't know, going for a walk, walking an animal. Like, what else can you do other than soccer? Because, like you said, soccer's not going to be there forever.
I feel like all of us been injured too, and I'm gonna pass it off to you real quick because I know you have recent injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these might have had long injuries.
That's what I'm saying. But for me, last year, it was one of the hardest years for me with injuries because I had a stress fracture in my hip, and it was like I really want to play, but it was really, really hard to deal with because I felt like I couldn't tell no. Because when I get injured, I don't talk to anybody. Like, I just want to be alone, left alone. I just want to, just be in my phone. It's just a downtime for me, to be honest. But being injured is very, very tough, to be honest. And for an athlete, knowing the only thing you cope with is playing and you can't do that, it's the hardest thing. So for me, finding different stuff to cope with it, that's the hardest. But
did you find anything?
When you lean on family, you feel me? I lean on family. I spend more time with my family, and I just try to, let them, show me the love that I got. Because sometimes when you're playing football, you hear like sometimes you're missing out all that love, and But when I tap in back to that, and I see that, man, I really have love for my family. That helps me, keep me motivated. So when I get back, I could, play the game I love still. But injury is tough for real.
Yeah, I tore my ACL, my LCL, and my meniscus, so I was out for time. I had surgery and everything, and leading up before the actual surgery and just thinking about what was going to happen after, like I was stressed. Like I didn't really speak to anyone about it. I acted normal. I didn't really speak to anyone about it. But when I actually had the surgery and I was dealing with everything, I couldn't sleep. So sleep is like one of my most important coping mechanisms. Like every time,
that one about we know that. You don't even have to say it. The whole world will sleep out.
Well, no, that can be sometimes healthy, but then also it can be unhealthy as well.
You gotta make it sleep
because listen, there's something called insomnia and versus hyposomnia. So it's getting too much sleep versus getting too less.
I think I
sleep.
get great sleep.
They both can sleep.
But wait, is it because this might could sleep?
They make it sleep.
They could rob him, steal.
Nah.
Steal the bed.
It is not that bad.
But if it's not affecting his everyday, day-to-day life, then I wouldn't see it as a problem.
They're infecting the man.
It's not.
When the man come home, I want to sleep. Bro, let's go walk. Bro, I want to sleep. Bro, I'm tired, bro.
That man got somebody pregnant.
But
that's what you hear from the man.
Do you literally legitimately feel so tired that you want to sleep all the time?
No, not all the time. Just if anything bad happens and I'm overthinking about it or stressing about it, sleep is probably my best coping mechanism. I just go to sleep, and then when I wake up, it's not that serious, and then I just deal with that.
So I heard both of you say something about how you self-isolate, don't want to talk to people, just want to be by yourself. Yeah. You say you want to go to sleep and stuff. So do you think that's healthy?
No.
And why would you say that?
Well, to be honest, it's listen, for me as an athlete, that's just the first thing I think about. Just leave me alone, man. This is the end of my world. I can't play the one thing I love. It's not like I could just get up and read a book because I don't like reading a book. I like playing soccer. So the one thing, when that one thing is gone and you can't do it, it's like a red zone for me. I call it red zone because I don't know where I'm at, what I can do to reduce the feeling, but I want to, you know, and that's where I tap into my faith, you know. I tap into my faith. I pray, you know, and I just leave it to the man above because at the end of the day, that my faith is stronger than me, so I can't question why I'm injured.
Yeah.
I'm just injured, and I just got to deal with that period.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I deal with it? That's where I need to, you know, tap into new stuff, you know, get love from the people that love me, and you know, get out the house and, you know, try to help others.
Yeah.
Because I still could do something. I'm injured, but I could be useful in that sense. So it's like, I don't have to be alone in my room and being injured. I could go help my other teammates, do something.
Yeah.
Just offer my help in somewhere because you're not useless. You still could do something. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what I try to tap into. And I feel like if athletes are injured and going through that, you know, you just gotta seek that and understand that.
Yes.
You know, it's a bigger purpose too. So.
I agree, Jovi. Like, that's perfect, actually. Because when I read that quote, what I thought about was, and I love that you just said that because the transition is smooth, you know. When I hear that, all I hear is, like, when I read the quote, it says, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose. The ability to choose. When I hear that, bro, I think about, the first thing that comes to my mind is, like, depression. Like, how this is going to sound crazy, but I genuinely think, and some might agree, we are entitled to our opinion. I genuinely think, you as a psychologist too, I think depression is a choice, bro.
Yeah.
Being depressed is a choice. I think so.
I want to correct you on that.
But hold on, here's why. Because
Let my man
hold on, let me learn, okay? Let me learn. No, bro, because listen, because
I'm not a psychologist.
No.
I'm a social worker.
Okay,
social work.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry.
Let the man land. Let the man land.
Because Jovi, no, seriously though, I genuinely think it's a choice because, bro, like you said, when you're stressed, right? You go out there, you do stuff like choosing to do something else to help you, praying, right? Like, I think it's a choice because, bro, people oftentimes say they're depressed, bro. It's a mentality, right?
Your quick question though, to tap you out, like if something happened bad to you, someone died, like that's not a choice, bro. You gonna feel that regardless.
It's not that goes back to coping though. You cope, right? You cope the right way to overcome that situation, that circumstances, whatever it may be.
You gotta go through that phase though.
Yeah, for sure. No, because you're choosing, right? People that say they're constantly depressed. Okay, let me go back because
that's
this is what I'm saying. People who are saying they're like constantly depressed, like you understand what I'm trying to say. Like people who are saying they're constantly depressed, like every single day I'm depressed.
That's something else.
I'm depressed. I think.
Have any of you been depressed before?
Yes.
I think.
I mean, sometimes you're depressed, but you don't
Like,
know it.
no, I'm
for real.
saying, have you ever been clinically diagnosed?
Oh
No. You see what I'm saying, bro? This
But wait.
is a scam. Hold on, let me tell you why.
Hold on. Wait. But wait, I see your point of view though. I see where you're coming from. I see your angle, right?
Bro.
But I feel like sometimes it's like it's bigger than that. Cause like you can think to yourself like, hey, I'm depressed. I'm gonna not think about the depression no more. But sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes people get
people deal
like, people get stuck into that, and it's hard to get up. Especially people that don't have like community around it. They don't have like family around them to help them out. You know,
I get that, bro.
People are lonely and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say necessarily it's a choice. It's a choice.
I wouldn't say that.
But I think what I would say is the person. They gotta be responsible. You gotta take a little bit of responsibility for getting yourself out of depression or like wanting to not.
But what is that though?
depression.
Isn't that choosing?
No,
That's
they're not.
choosing. You're choosing to be responsible to get out of.
But you're saying.
But you're
what I'm
not
saying.
choosing. But you're not choosing to be depressed.
No.
You can get depressed from like what happens to you.
Like,
But like having the
Depression, terminally wise, it's defined as a chemical imbalance in someone's brain. That is literally the definition of depression. It is a chemical imbalance in your brain, same as ADHD, same as anxiety. It's all a chemical imbalance. So depression is not a choice. You choose what to do with
That's
it.
what I'm saying. I'm saying like
That's
choosing
the
to
way
stay.
you
No.
word it.
I think I said depression is a choice. Like choosing to stay depressed. Like that's what I'm saying.
you
People who
should
choose
have
to
said that. You
stay.
should say that.
That's what I'm saying
No.
though. That's my argument.
But I agree with that. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I disagree to that point because someone who's depressed, it is the hardest thing to even get out of bed.
I agree.
That's the one step that is the hardest thing to even understand or even accept that they're depressed. That's the hardest thing ever. Sitting in a room with someone who's depressed I have to explain to them what depression is so they don't feel like they're basically seen as a label, because we put all these labels on people, and as soon as we put depression on them, they automatically already put themselves down. Their self-esteem is down here. And you know how hard it is to build somebody's self-esteem? It is the hardest thing ever.
Really hard.
I get that.
But I do agree, you do choose what you do about the depression, but it's not easy.
I think it's a mindset.
I mean, I think
It's a mindset, bro.
I mean,
like,
I still don't agree with what you're saying, but I think from our culture and how we grew up, it's more like collective, because you always have people around. We always have like a big community.
But think
like,
about the people who don't have someone around them.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like. That's why you have that type of like
Bro, you can
look at
have-
it that way. But
It's so hard to crack, bro.
it's like it's so hard to crack, bro. Sometimes it's like
Same thing, I mean, with men in general. I mean, that's the biggest thing ever when it comes to depression or anxiety or anything they're going on through. Stress.
Just to step up.
They don't know how to express that.
Yeah.
Their emotional intelligence isn't there.
Mhm.
Like, and it's taught from a very young age. Like,
Yeah.
men, I don't know, I can't speak for you guys, but a lot of the men in my group, they were taught how to hold their stuff in. Like, they weren't allowed to talk about it.
Facts.
And the only emotions men are allowed to show is anger and anger.
that's what I was gonna ask you. Like in like the work you do. I mean, you can talk about the work you do a little bit, and then like what do you see in terms of like what a man going through usually about like depression or stress or like just mental health in general, and like how they dealing with it, how they stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I basically I psychoeducate men and women, mainly the men, and they all get like a battery charge, or not a battery charge, a domestic violence charge. So it can be anything like strangulation, intimidation, battery, or anything. And they're in this group for 40 weeks, and we talk about healthy relationships. And topics can vary. Like sometimes we teach them good communication skills, because they're not taught that at a young age. We talk about the man box. A man, what is a man to you guys? What is a man supposed to be? What are things that we call them for? For example, one thing I can say is
Protection.
provider.
Protection, providing, emotional intelligence. Yeah.
What else?
Men is natural protector and provider. Like that's
I mean,
what we are taught.
But
That's
you said protector, provider, what else?
Come on, lads.
that's what I'm saying. Like emotional intelligence, know how to handle the emotions of like your wife and
Okay. What else?
kids and household and.
Like
I would
mentors
say-
too. What else is supposed to be?
I'd say compassionate.
Compassionate.
I would say nurturing, because a lot of times men aren't seen as nurturing. Women aren't seen as nurturing.
But what does society paint this picture of men? What does the society say about men?
no one cares about society.
But I'm saying this is.
But like society has
This is the type of men I'm dealing with, though. They're the men that have this picture like men are supposed to be providers, supposed to be fixers, supposed to be the I guess the money makers. They're supposed to be like the smart ones in the relationship, and they're mainly supposed to control the relationship.
That's perception.
But that's, like I said, the man box. But sometimes when it comes to emotions and talking about that, the thing that they're only shown as from a very young age is how to show anger. But a lot of people don't know anger is a secondary emotion. There's this thing where we have this picture as an iceberg. On top of the iceberg is anger. At the bottom is other emotions that people don't address. Like, I felt disrespected. I'm confused. I'm lost. I'm hurt. I'm sad. They don't say those things.
That's true too, though. Everybody goes straight to anger because, like, dealing with that small little step before anger is like, oh, I don't know how to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I feel frustrated, and I'm gonna take it for like full on anger, and it's not. It's two different things. I need to deal with the problem first, and then see like I'm not really angry. I'm just sad that this happened. You know what I mean? And that's not the first thing I should shoot off about being angry. You know, it's not that for real. But
Gabriel, what would you say for this question? And we never even stated that. I'm sure they know we're talking about mental health, but
We'll talk about mental
we're
health.
talking about mental health.
That's what we
man.
have.
We're touching on. We're touching on.
Don't shit Sherlock.
Hence why we have our
The
great friend here,
Social
to help
worker.
guide
She's
us,
doing a lot of work
you know.
in psychology and young men and understanding how they feel and talking and stuff like that. So
Kids too. But Gabriel, help me out here, man. Like, what do you hear about this What do you think, and where do you think the dismissal of mental health come from? Like he just previously just like you know touch on that for a bit, but what do you think?
I mean,
That's rooted in.
to be honest, I never really hear anything about mental health until I moved to the U.S. So back in Liberia, ain't nothing really like mental health or go talk to like a psychologist or like somebody like that. It's not, you don't really have that in Liberia and stuff like that. So mental health is, I hear it from here. So
I have to laugh, bro.
so
Give me a minute, bro.
no, I'm just saying, bro, because it's the truth. You feel me? So like, where the dismissal come from? I mean, I think now in our society, like us now, people are like accepting it more. Like you see like men talking about it and like men going to like therapists, and we even see like, because we're big into soccer, we see like soccer players going to like therapists, like even big clubs have it, like therapists and stuff in like the staff now that you can go to. So I think now in our society now,
It's growing.
and it's
For
becoming
sure.
like normal to like talk to people and like have like that kind of stuff. But
When you're done too.
now you can go on.
Yeah, like what I was saying too, with soccer players, I feel like it's way, way bigger than it seems because soccer players dismiss a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? For example, I watched this one time, Dele Alli went on a podcast too, and he was talking about what he went through, bro. And if he didn't say it, bro, you would never know what the man been through, bro. The guy said he was forced to sell drugs at a young age. Bro, he saw someone got like assaulted and stuff like that. And this man had to play 20 years of his career just putting that on the side. And then, bro, at the end of his career, he still came out and he was dealing with that still. So I feel like I've been through stuff that, bro, sometimes I can't even sleep at night because that's what I see. But how do I deal with that? That's the thing. That's the next step. But I feel like as soccer players, we tend to just say, okay, I'm going on the pitch, and bro, when I step on the pitch, everything goes away, and you know, we just that's what I'm asking, is it dismissal? How do we deal with that? You feel me? But I was just chopping it up with the podcast and people going, even in the professional world, bro. You see these professional players coming out after years and years. Why didn't they do it earlier? You feel me? How would that affect them in their career? How better it would be? You feel me? So how do they deal with that? You feel me?
True.
Is there like a door open they can just go to and talk about that? You know?
I want to ask you guys, what is your guys' opinion about therapy? What is your
We'll
opinion
get
about
we'll get into that.
Oh, okay.
But before we get into that, and that's actually one of the questions I was gonna ask. But Jovi, you and Gabe were like saying, what I got from that was like, and Archie, I can ask you this: like, do you think there is a lack of understanding and lack of educating? Because Gabe, where we're from, like, I think it's rooted because of a lack of like education. I don't think
For sure,
people from where we're from are educated enough to know about like the importance of mental health, right? And that's where I think personally that's where
the awareness is not.
it's
not
that's
there
where that
indeed.
dismissal comes from. And Archie, what do you think about that? Like, do you think it's rooted from lack of understanding? You can speak from.
I think it's rooted from just people having better problems to deal with. I think
better problems to do it.
I mean
Explain
worse.
more on that.
Worse problems to deal with.
Okay.
So, in a lot of countries in Africa, people don't even have food. People barely get food. They don't have shelter. They don't know where they're gonna live. It's just it's hard. Like, it's hard to think about mental health when you're
There's
hungry.
bigger problems.
They're trying to
Really,
survive.
they got
Yeah,
real
like,
life problems.
It's not. You're not thinking about
facts.
But I don't want you
depressed or
guys
something
to
like that.
also like dismiss other people's or belittle other people's trauma too, because that's what we call it too. Everybody has a different type of trauma, and yeah, I see like you guys had a survival of the fittest, right? But at the end of the day, everybody has trauma in their own way. Like everybody has a story in their own way.
Yeah, that's
I
facts.
think like when I was in Congo, like I would have never thought about mental health, but I think people here have the leisure to think of mental health. Like, if you go anywhere in Congo, if you speak to my dad right now, like mental health wouldn't really be like a concept in his mind. Like, he'd think like you're joking or something.
Like
So
you'd be
it's-
confused.
That's true.
Yeah, like I feel like we're privileged enough to think of mental health. So that I don't know.
Privileged enough to think of
Now,
mental
but what
health.
she's saying too, to tap into that too, is like, yes, we're not from here, so we have to understand that different cultures and different, people got different problems, of course, and you know, by saying, oh, we can't dismiss that day. What they're going through is small, because at the end of the day, we don't know, like, nobody. We can't step in nobody else's shoes. You feel me? Because it is big, bro. Mental health is
big too. Cause
bro,
like, how you feel, you can't really operate.
Bro, you can't, bro. If they had like people with knowledge in like different like for me, third world country Belize, bro. Like someone with the knowledge could help people in Belize and, you know, let them get a better understanding of that, because we need that in the world, bro. We don't need it only here. You feel me? People have to like wake up and be like, okay, America is big, bro, but the world is bigger, bro. You feel me? And if they have the knowledge, then, you know, just spread it out, spread the love, and, you know, help the other countries. And because mental health is big, bro, and I know it, because where we're from, it's a big dismissal of it, bro. You got, like you said, bigger problems to worry about, and that's just a fact of it too. Bigger problems.
So then, and Lopez, if we have bigger problems to worry about, why is it in the U.S. it's so important, but yet many people are struggling in a way that you won't see in other Western countries? Like, let me just relate it to what we're from. Like, you won't see people in a psych ward, or you won't see people in like places trying to get help because of what they're dealing with, like mentally, right? Why is it in the U.S. it's so big, but yet there aren't enough, like, I don't want to say, there's resources, right?
I see what you're talking
there's
about.
resources, but it's still a problem. You know?
Why they can't deal with
Yeah,
it?
why is it with all the resources, but yet, like, I'm not saying we're better off, like, in our country we're better than Americans, like, we're not better, but we find other ways to cope differently than they do. But I feel like the US is so, like, they're so equipped with the resources to better, like, you know, overcome challenges. Like, it's set up in a way for them to be healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, but yet it's a big problem.
I think resources wise is like the access to it. Like, I don't know, there's not enough psych wards available right now. Like, even Epworth, like, if you were to try to commit suicide, and I would try to refer them over to there's so many boxes you have to check to be even admitted. And they stay there for only 7 days top. After that, they send them out to somewhere else. So I feel like even though we have the resources there, it's not acceptable. It's not accessible, for one. Financial, not a lot of people have insurance. And then it builds up, and then some, like you guys were saying, not everybody's educated enough to know where to go. I'm feeling like I want, like, these thoughts, like, I want to commit suicide. I want it in my life. This is the only option I have. So, but what do I do? Where can I go to fix that? Yeah. No one knows where to start. Same thing when they're feeling depression or anxiety. Like, that stuff kicks in. I'm feeling this iffy, weird thing. It's making me feel uncomfortable. But what do I do about it? And that's what everybody's, like, lost about. And when they don't talk about it, they just keep it inside, and it builds up like a volcano, and so all of a sudden it bursts. So, and that's what makes them do the stuff that we don't understand. But you really can't understand until you ask somebody what's wrong, because we all have this mask on our faces. Like, no one knows my past, no one knows your past, no one knows your past until it's actually asked.
Yeah, that's crazy too, because when you think about it too, there's 100,000 suicides in US 2020, right? And the mind is one of the most complex things to understand, and I feel like if you can't understand the mind fully, then how you gonna stop 100,000 people from dying from suicide? So resources on top of resources on top of resources can't help, bro. At the end of the day, yes, you're studying the brain and you're studying the mind and how the depression comes in, but you can't fix that, bro. Like, you can't fix that. That's just there.
Okay, how we fix it then?
You can't, bro. It's just, bro, we all are different people here, bro. We gonna cope differently regardless, bro.
Wait, if then do you think if we can't fix it, maybe that's the problem? Like, we're trying to fix.
You were trying to fix it instead of finding a different
People are trying to fix the situation instead of trying to learn how to handle it, how to cope, how to deal with it, how to live every day.
More like preventing, or
not preventing. It's more like, so you know how when you're sick and you go to the doctor and you put on medication, right? Or they tell you that this is what's going on. So they're telling you how to stay healthy. Like, you have to go to the gym, you have to eat better, stuff like that. That's how it is with mental health. You have to know how to, when your anxiety starts to spike, what do I do when it happens? That's what we're trying to teach people. So when that situation comes, even trying to prevent it too. Like there's things that we call triggers. When someone goes out to the store, if they're very anxious about being around so many people, that's where we try to prevent them to be around too many people, or prepare them when there's going to be a lot of people around. What do I do in that situation when that anxiety starts to kick in? You know, because anxiety is more like it's like an alarm system. It's going off and going off because there's something going around you, and you're not dealing with it. Instead, you're trying to shove it to the side, and it gets louder and louder if you don't cope with it or figure out what's causing it.
I mean, bro, this is a big topic, and I feel like we could go in like a lot of different places with it, you know, because it's like we might have to do like part 1, part 2. But also, sometimes I think to myself too, right? Because we were just talking about like the culture we're from, and like how it's like mental kind of like dismissing the way of people like don't really look at it. But then I want to say like sometimes maybe we're overlooking on how that kind of like thing affect people. Because like if they're not talking to people about it now aware of it, that will show up in different ways in like our culture and stuff. You know, like there's different stuff in our culture that you know that happens and stuff like that, like men being violent to women and stuff like that happens.
What you see too.
Yeah, things like that happens like a lot of places like back home, you know, like stuff like that. Like you're talking about like that anger and that violence too, right? Yeah. Because we sit here and say, okay, like we don't really see that, you don't hear about that, but also I feel like that shows up in different ways in our culture and like in like our community as you know, as Africans and where we come from, you know, like stuff like that. So I mean, and then I wanted to ask you like is there, how do I phrase this question? In terms of having a community and not having a community, like in your work, does that help in terms of like people being depressed all the time, or like just mental health? Do they have like better mental health in terms of awareness, or not? If you have like a community, like a people you can talk to, like we have like this, compared to like if you don't, in a sense.
Like, is that helpful? Like to have a community or not have a community?
Yeah.
I would say yeah, and then sometimes a lot of people, their triggers or what causes them to have, I guess, anxiety sometimes is their own family. I don't know, like family members don't understand when someone's going through addiction, it's not just that person that's struggling or basically, I guess, coping with it. It's everybody in the house or everybody around them. I know, like, I have a couple of clients who are dealing with addiction right now, and it's their mom having to deal with it too, because you want your family member to be healthy. You want your family to be as best as they can, but it's so hard. And with a community, how are you going to get there? Because you feel so alone. Everybody, I heard you guys' last podcast, you guys were talking about how we're so worried about mine, this is mine, that's how the American culture is. And you guys we're sharing. Like, you can have this, you can have that. That's not how it is here. Here, it's more everybody for themselves. And I feel that's what it needs to stop. Because that's why the mental health is keep getting worse and worse. They don't know who they can go to.
It's like a good phrase too back home. It's like, when you're growing up, they're gonna say it takes a village to know, to raise someone good. You know,
my boy always giving these phrases and code. Y'all need to be putting this caption in. You know what I'm saying?
On a shirt. It makes sense though.
That's the one phrase. Honestly, like when I played soccer, I played cross. That's the one phrase that stuck in my head all the time. It takes a village. It always takes a village.
Great.
And you choose who's your village. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be your family. You don't pick your family, but you choose who you pick your family.
It's a title.
Exactly.
I think it's a title. But since you got us back to Holy Cross, let's talk about student athletes, man. And you know, as students athletes, and it's not just student athletes, just human beings in general, we deal with so much, bro. But let's talk about our experiences since we all play sports, right? And maybe there's something in there they're able to pick up on, you know, and tap into their own life too as well. But as a student athlete, like, what would you say was, like, you probably touched on it before, was like one of your toughest struggles, you know, mentally?
Student athlete?
Yeah. Just as Lopez, what was your toughest struggle, just being a student athlete? Fitting in
and being as successful as I can.
How did that affect you mentally though?
Because, so from my like research and stuff like that I learn all the time, is the human body wants to fit in anywhere they can be. Like, once they hit like school, when kids start getting to school, there's this thing between first family and second family. First family is the people you're born with, your mother, your dad, siblings, all that. Second family is when you go into school and you meet friends, you meet classmates, and you're so worried about being accepted by them, because that's literally the human body. The human body wants to be accepted by people. And I think that was my biggest situation, because when I first got here at Holy Cross, I was told not to talk to this person, not to talk to that person. And I'm like, well, where do I fit in then? Or who do I talk to then? And I think that was my biggest issue. Being here and on the women's team, I wanted to not step on people's toes. Because at the end of the day, I wanted to be successful in soccer, and you can't be a good team if you guys are all constantly going at each other.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you're new too, and then you're new to the team.
Exactly.
You just want to fit in. You don't want to cause any problems. Come on, Sabu. That's how you felt too, coming?
Nah,
But I did want to ask you guys that too. Like, you guys came from so far away, and you came into here. How did that make you guys feel, being on a soccer team?
We'll go there.
Sabu, what do you think?
Let it answer the question before we go there. But Sabu, what was your toughest struggle?
my toughest struggle
mentally as a student athlete.
just dealing with expectations,
Expectations,
and also like
fitting in.
injuries.
Injuries.
I felt
Expectations from who?
from everyone. I feel like when I came in, I had a lot of expectations from the coach, from some of my teammates. Like, just seeing me play, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be successful, whatever. You're gonna help the team out, whatever." And a lot of times, I feel like I fell short of that because of injuries and like all the times I may have been not playing. I feel like, especially with my recent injury, like my ACL, I like when it happened, I found myself apologizing to Gallo. I was like, I'm sorry. Like I got injured and I was apologizing.
For
Like, you feel like you failed him?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. That was weird.
Yeah, I get
It's a
you.
tough one to deal with though,
It
cause
is.
like you can't control being injured, bro. You feel me? You can take care of your body, whatever. But you playing soccer, bro, you're gonna get injured regardless. And I feel like that's why when you got injured, bro, like I'm happy you have Gabe, bro. You feel me? Like Gabe will take you wherever you need and stuff like that. But bro, like you don't have to deal with that alone, bro. I feel like that's the toughest thing, dealing with it alone. Yeah. You feel me? Because bro, you can go to a dark place when you deal with that alone. And when it's my turn to speak about my experience, I'll tap into that more. But you just gotta know that you don't have to apologize for being injured, bro. And you just found yourself doing that naturally.
Yeah,
that
it
could be
was
something
That's
bad. That
just
could be
because
something
that's
bad.
how you're raised, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you come from.
I feel like I owed him so much because of like all that.
because of what he did for you.
I mean, what he's done for you,
Yeah,
right
and
here.
just me feeling like all of his expectations, like that kind of,
I want to ask, like, was that your parents like that too? Like, giving you so much expectations that you feel like you had to succeed in that?
Not so much in soccer, but more in like school.
Okay.
My parents weren't really like concerned about soccer. Like, they were telling me to just go to school and just work on that.
Okay.
So soccer was kind of my thing, and it was just also like a way to essentially pay for tuitions.
Okay.
And yeah, they like when it happened, I told them. Obviously, they were worried, and they kind of like blamed the sport. Like, why are you playing sports? It was crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Anyways.
They will not understand.
Yeah.
You will
Nah,
never understand.
African parents, bro.
Yeah, bro. They will not understand.
But that dance sports.
I mean,
You need to leave that thing alone. Focus on your book. Like,
I get what Archie is saying though, cause like you feel like, I mean, when I was my first couple of years playing soccer, cause like I owe it to coach, especially all my it's like he believed in you when nobody did.
Yeah.
Like you was trying to find a school. You go a lot of places, you get rejected. No school want to take you in. He takes you in, give you a lot of money, make sure you're good, and you feel like the only way you can repay him is performing on the pitch and getting like wins and doing your best. You know, for the most part too, I thought that. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, no, it's not really. It's really about connection. It's about doing the best that you can. Like he
Just
knows
trying.
you knows you're trying to do your best and you're gonna do your best too. But like for the most part too, like I thought that I felt like even for like my youth coaches and the people that helped me, because I feel like with them I wouldn't be here, because like it's because of soccer that I'm really, kind of here, like open a lot of doors for me. And there was a lot of people that's not family, that were just coaches that really helped me from like since I was like started playing. Like Mo, Tony, all those guys.
Yeah.
My cousin Rafi, like these people, like Rafi's family, but like the other people wasn't, you know. And for the big part, I thought like how could we pay them is like performing on a soccer pitch, but it's not really that. You know, they're just helping you because they're good people and they want to see you succeed.
That's good though. That's good having because you guys don't have family here, like your own family here. So that's kind of way like your guys.
We got family here. What do you mean?
Talking about like family, like your parents and your siblings.
Yeah, we got them here. What do you mean?
In Holy Cross?
Well, not. She mean Holy Cross like here.
I'm
Here?
talking about
I'm
like,
talking about like
yeah,
Indiana.
yes.
Oh yeah, we got family here. I'm just playing.
Okay, Baba.
I just playing with you. But Gabriel, what would you say one of your toughest struggles though? Just
Toughest.
mentally as a student athlete, what would you say?
Toughest. I want to go back to surgery and injury. Because I feel in terms of expectation and playing, I've always like tried to put myself in the best position to perform, like doing a lot of stuff before and being shipped and stuff. So when I got injured, and soccer was like my only like go-to place to like stress when it was taken away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't play soccer, and then I did the surgery. I was here, almost like by myself. Of course, I had like, because all these guys went home. I did it like in December, so like people went home. Shout out to my brother Fonzie. He drove me for the surgery because I did it right after Christmas, like the 26th. So then I came back. Obviously, I still Fonzie for a bit, but I didn't have to come here to do TP. So I was by myself, and it was hard. I think that was the hardest ever in college, being by myself. Literally, I can't really do nothing. Just in bed, struggling to get out of bed.
I hated that.
Yeah, bro. You struggle to get out of bed. You can't really do too many movement. All you can do is just go
Everything hurts.
therapy and come back.
Everything hurts.
It was hard. It was
I
hard.
can imagine that pain.
Yeah, it was hard.
Joey, what would you say?
I mean, there's a lot, bro, to be honest.
Break it down for us, man. Break it down.
I mean, they speak about injury, so I'm trying to tap into something different. But
Yeah. Give me something else.
I don't want to specify the situation, but there's a situation that I've been through in college where it's like I question stuff and stuff like that. And, shout out to Code Red, my friends and stuff from UNOH. I mean, like, UNOH was I spent most of my time there, but it was like the most, I don't want to use the word depressed, but that was when I had the most, down feeling. So, having them some days help. But when you're in your room alone, you feel like, bro, it's only me. Like I catch myself just saying, bro, it's literally only me. Yes, I love these guys, and yes, I do. Like, bro, I go to war for them. You know what I mean? But when you go to sleep, bro, it's just you. You're just that's who you're with. You're with yourself. And I feel like, yes, I put myself in those situations, but like if I had people who could guide me and stuff like that, then I could say I could have do better stuff. But tapping back to that, like, injuries is big, yes, but the real life problems is like, stuff you witness, bro. Like, for example, I'm gonna give it, like, I don't really care. It's our podcast, we get, but with the racism shit, bro. Like, I told you guys this, bro. Like, one time, I have two situations, bro. I walk into a McDonald's, everybody stopped eating, bro. You feel me? Yeah. Like,
Money Ohio, boy.
yeah,
Deep.
bro. I went home and I literally cried, bro. Like, the first time I cried, you feel me? Like, I just sat there and I'm like, bro, I'm a big soccer player and you're eerie, and like I have to walk into your McDonald's and
You're already
like
stereotyping.
you stop eating, bro. Like, come on, like I was like, damn, like that got me sad.
That feeling is crazy because you can feel everybody looking at you, and everybody will like stop eating,
Bro, I'm like,
and then everybody just like
yeah,
look at you, bro. And it's crazy. It's a feeling you can't explain.
can't
Bro.
explain it, bro.
It just
I just question.
you just feel like I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't want to like pity on myself, but it was like that was a good moment. I could explain like, okay, I felt really, really bad.
That's
and
valid
then
though.
another one comparing that too is like some person, like some people you expect not to do those type of stuff, doing that to you. So like our international advisor, bro.
What?
This like we went to the office, got some coffee, whatever, and she asked my friend like, yo, you make coffee? Yes and yes. And my friend started showing him the motion like, oh yeah, he was making coffee because he usually like stir it up before he put the hot water in there to like get it blended up, right? And she was like, oh, you were slaving that coffee, and
Yo.
like the room got quiet, bro. Like
What?
Like I just sat there and I'm like what she meant by that, bro? and I'm like she got awkward, and the other person got awkward, and I'm like,
Yeah.
like it's just a weird, uncomfortable situation. I feel like I can't talk to nobody else because I'm like, there's only 3 black kids there, so it's like I have to. How do I deal with that? And for me, that was the biggest problem, like dealing with that. I barely told my mom about it because, like, where we come from, it's like we don't speak on that, so it's like it's hard. Cause even about normal problems, I don't really go to my mom because I feel like I just bottle it up, deal with it, and when soccer starts, I get going. But I feel like that's the biggest problem for men, and especially young men. Dealing with that and knowing that we have an option. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was my biggest experience, and it's sad to say we have to be like I have to go through that, but it's just the world. I don't feel bad about it. I feel like that's just their their view on life, but I don't feel bad that it happened to me. Like I'd rather happen to me than anybody else. You feel me? Because like I'd rather take that. And it's a normal problem, bro. This happen every day. But I just wish
it's
like
sickening that it's a normal problem. That shouldn't even be. But that's the world we live in,
I just wish I was knowledgeable or aware of stuff like that before I came here, because then I would have been prepared. But bro, where I'm from is like very, very diverse and stuff like that. But other than that, I just feel like the experience in college sometimes it's set up for you to to feel depressed or whatever. But just dealing with it is the biggest thing. So
for me, I would say like as a student athlete, my toughest struggle would probably be like my first year, coming into college. There was so much like personal things, family stuff happening back home, and not being able to like really handle it. Like I thought I was just because transitioning from high school to college, my mindset was just soccer. Like I didn't play soccer for a whole year because that's my senior year. Before my senior year was when I tore my ACL. I was like, bro, I can't wait. After not playing for a whole year, I was like, bro, I can't wait to go to college and go play soccer. But the year I was not playing, bro, there was so much happening back home, and that I wasn't really like focusing on because I just wanted to get better and go play, like leave and go play. That's like we talk about how like that's all I wanted to do. So I didn't really face those, like, even though they were happening and I was there and it was happening, seeing it happen, I didn't really like take it in. Like I just wanted to heal and go play soccer into college. So when I came and not playing for a year, and then when I came playing college, like everything just came all at once. Like the fact that the game speed was different. First of all, that's different, and the fact that not being able to play again, and then like transitioning, and then new environment, like
wrecking ball we call it.
Everything like boom, like it hit me, like especially when it started getting cold. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it started getting cold, bro.
Dark.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying.
Soccer about the road.
Bro.
Soccer. No, because when winter hits, soccer stop.
Winter hits, bro. Nah,
and it just
bro.
dark outside.
No, that was tough mentally because like I was like, bro.
It all hits you at once.
Everything all at once, and that was tough because like I wish I paid attention to how it was gonna affect me. I didn't think it was gonna affect me coming to college, but mentally it was like every day. It was hard because like, man, can't even get personal, but like for me, like here, like you feel me.
But how did you deal with that though? Because I know you is like when you go into something, you just go in your shell and you like this. You don't talk to nobody. You just like.
But why is that a common thing for you guys?
Men.
No, not men. Don't say men, because that's the stereotype.
That's what I'm trying to get into. Cause like for me, I'm like that too. If I'm going through something, bro, I'm just gonna like.
It's just men. Come on.
I don't really want to chat to nobody.
But I also don't want to pin that against you guys either, too, because honestly, I didn't get to know you as deep as I expected when I did my project on you. That's really like the genuine. Even though I've known you for so long, I did a practice therapy session with him, and even though I've known you for so long, that was like the first time I ever got to know who Gabe was. And I think that's crazy because we don't get to know people. We're so worried about ourselves that we don't take the time and look at the people around us.
Yeah, I know Gabe to a T.
Yeah, so. For me, I choose to stay. I chose to stay. Like I think I've grown out of that a bit, but still work in progress. But I think because I I did that mainly my first year because like, bro, I just thought like time and place, bro. Like I think the only person who can understand me is me and God.
That's what I was gonna ask you too.
Like,
who to trust with that?
Yeah, it's just me and God because I feel like that was someone who I was constantly in communication with, and I feel like one of the beauty God gave us, like made us, is to be like with one another, right? Like he talks about just when they say love your neighbor as yourself, it's deeper than that. Like rely on each other, you know.
But you can't love your neighbor. And I heard this in church the other day. They said you can't love your neighbor if you don't know your neighbor.
What do you mean you can't love your neighbor if you don't love your neighbor? Is that what you said?
Yes.
If you don't know your neighbor, of course.
Like think of the culture situation right now.
No.
Like immigration going on.
No,
listen. I'm not trying to go too deep, but listen.
You don't agree with
I'm literally I'm saying this for a reason.
Okay.
You can't fully understand what someone's going through until you don't ask.
Yeah, you gotta talk to them.
You have to ask them.
Be curious, man. Be curious. Ask
questions. And that's like how it's how it is. You have to be curious. You have to ask those questions. Like I don't know why everybody's so bound to like separating themselves or opening themselves up. Yes, trust can be an issue, but why can't you trust people until they break your trust?
But Lopez, I think yes, people can ask questions, but bro, I think sometimes people aren't asking the right questions.
Yeah. But
and that's why I feel like it's for someone who doesn't open up, like if they're not asking the right question and you're not really like it's not natural for you to open up, like, and then they're not asking the right. I'm not gonna open my whole mouth to you guys start telling you my story. Like, what? No, I'm not telling you that. Like,
this is crazy, bro. How is someone supposed to ask you a question, bro? You're the one who's going through it,
bro. No.
I mean, but people can phrase things. I feel like for me,
it's check-ins. It's checking in.
Yeah,
no, but
it doesn't have to be deep. It could just be how you're doing. How was your day?
But sometimes I feel like people are just saying that because it's just like a constant. It's like we go through the motion.
Yeah, just like hey, man, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, that's it. Like it's not like how are you really doing, bro? Like you feel me? Like stop and think, like bro.
You straight?
Like that's crazy too, though.
Being intentional about like I can see you, Jovi, and Gabe, like bro, like how are you really doing? Like
that's why I ask a lot of people. When I'm around, I ask people like, bro, how you really doing?
How you really doing?
I learned it from one of my guys from you know his boy, big up herself. But it's like you're there, but you're not there, bro. You gotta fully be there and fully care about your friends, bro. Like at the end of the day, when I wake up and I see Gabe, I'm like, bro, you know how this, how that. But you gotta really care about this person to ask that question because I just don't want to ask, how was your night? No, I want to really know. So being intentional is also good too. But back to the point where it's like, you know, checking in with your friends and being intentional, but you as the person who's going through something too, you gotta formulate a way to speak up, bro, because bro, we can't read your mind. Yes, I could read your body and say, oh, bro, you're not yourself today. But how about the happiest person sometimes the saddest person in the room? Yeah. You feel me? How do you know? You know, so it's like, you know, sometimes it's good to step out your shell and say it.
It is, but I do want to share this though. Like a lot of people don't want to get out of their shell because they're scared of the outcome.
That's true.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It's the reaction of people too. Yeah. Like, how is this person gonna judge me? What is this person gonna say? Is this person even gonna help me?
Some people don't even know how to take that well when you express.
Exactly.
Bro, it's not even a judgment. I just think like some people don't even have the mindset to even comprehend what you're even saying. Yeah. You know, to even try to like, I get you.
That's a big one too.
Yeah. It's like accountability. Like that's the thing. I don't like a lot of people need to take accountability. I don't know everything in the book. When somebody comes to me and they ask for like therapy sessions, I'm gonna be honest with them. I don't know that answer, but let me find that answer and I'll come back to you and tell you about it.
I'm sending you to God. Go read the Bible.
Send him.
I can't.
Send you to God.
But you gotta think about it as a social worker. I can't because I gotta separate the religion from the therapy.
I get you.
Because not everybody believes the same thing.
I get you.
Yeah, I mean, God is love, and God provide people for us too to love them and love the people around you. That's love.
Absolutely.
That's God too. So like
absolutely, but I can't. Someone who doesn't believe in God.
No, I mean I understand that. I understand that part. You can send people to God to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what God gives us the people around us too to help each other out, help each other and talk to.
I mean, you're in a good place. I feel like you have the power to help a lot of people too. And at the end of the day, like you have a big responsibility. You feel me? And sometimes it can be tough, but like I know we're talking about mental health too, but I feel like being that person who's giving that advice and stuff like that, who has your back at the end of the
Yeah, who's
Who's
helping
taking-
you? Who's taking the burden off your shoulder, Lopez?
Because I
Tell
ain't gonna
us.
lie, being a social worker,
Mhm.
like
That's
you
a
see
lot,
a
bro.
lot of stuff,
Yeah.
That's a lot.
and you hear a lot of stuff, like you hear the craziest stuff that's going on, you know, and how do you deal with that? How do you? Because to be honest, I wouldn't know how to. You feel me? Because I'm hearing all these stuff that gotta affect you somewhere, somehow, you know? Because it's because even sometimes there's crazy how do I call it, legal work in certain areas, you can't do certain things, or you might be helping somebody, you gotta let them go, because you know what I'm saying, legals, you know what I'm saying, it's just.
No, I agree. And honestly, truthfully, it's still a work in progress. I'm still trying to figure out how to cope with everything going on, because I can't talk about everything. It's the role that I play, confidentiality, you know?
Of course.
So we tell all our clients a therapist needs a therapist. And honestly, I've tapped into that more. I've found my ways. I'm still finding my mechanisms. But one thing I could say is your work environment. Where I work at, when I need a minute or I need to talk to somebody, we have an open door access. So I can go to my clinical director and say, hey, this is the case I just came up with or I came across. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I can do it. We also are honest of there's something called biases. And I personally have a bias against I would say predators. People who molest little kids or sexually abuse little kids. I personally I wouldn't say I'm against it, but I'm still working on it. Same thing
What
with
did I miss?
Break it down.
And also, to me, schizophrenic. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Mhm.
When people have delusions or hallucinations.
See stuff, yeah.
Yes, I believe very much into the devil and all that stuff. So that kind of trips me up, but good again, it's a challenge. And I challenge myself all the time. I had his first schizophrenic client the other day. I was nervous, but I can't be nervous because at the end of the day, I don't want to scare my client. And I don't want my client to be scared not to talk to me. You know?
That's tough, though. That's tough. I feel like we're going to have a second episode. It's getting too long, and I feel like... oh, for real, though.
I got a lot of questions about
questions too,
about all this mental health stuff. We gotta deal with this.
Yeah.
You know, with my brothers and stuff. We gotta you know what I'm saying. A lot of things we gotta tap
And
into.
sister, my boy.
But yeah, we're going
and my sister here too.
Yeah, man.
And my sister here too. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff to tap into for real.
For sure. I think this is mental health is an ongoing conversation, you know.
It really is.
It never stops and
It changes.
For sure.
For us, we're constantly educating each other. Research after research after research.
learning new stuff every day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The world is changing, so at the end of the day, we're going to change too.
Yep.
So that's facts.
Yeah, man.
Kaisenet song is on.
No, it's not yet. Before
You know the man ahead of the thing, bro. The man the host.
Before,
Boy.
don't be saying that to anyone else.
Boy, you see that?
Nah,
Why does he curve him, my name, boy?
but
Come on,
Lopez,
lock in.
hold on, man. Lopez, to wrap things up, what would you say, because we've said a lot of things that we'll leave from here and we'll probably forget until we watch this video again. But what's one thing you can give to us, give to the people to take away that was, to stick with us? Something that we can always just that makes sense, just have us thinking more about, because sometimes we hear but we don't really think, and we don't really understand. So what's one thing you would say for us and for the viewers out there?
I would say two things is tap into your community, for sure.
When it comes to mental health.
Yes. Finding that village, like we talked about. And then I would say another thing, just when you're going through stress or you're going through something in life, there's this one quote somebody has said in the podcast and it stuck with me since. It doesn't rain forever. The rainbow comes out at the end of the day.
That is true.
Just hold on and good things will come out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't read forever, man.
Lock in, twin.
Talk to people.
Lock in.
Roman 8:18.
Pain that you're feeling right now cannot compare to the joy that's coming.
Bam!
Yeah.
Joy is coming. Bam! Joy is coming. It's coming. Just be patient. It's coming, man. All right, Jovi, you know how we end here, bro. What's the takeaway, man? What's one thing, break it. He brought some. Oh, he's been. Oh my God!
What am I taking out of that pocket?
Inspire the
No
viewers,
sign,
man.
no.
Inspire the viewers. Jovi, come on, man.
Bro, lock in, bro.
Lock in right now. Inspire the viewers. You know the takeaway, the usual, what we do here.
Like I said, man.
Gossing that song is on.
Alright, we ready?
Number one single.
It doesn't rain forever like she says, and I feel like give me my moment.
Let my boy
Stop bugging, bro.
Let my boy live.
But yeah, to tap back into what she said, it doesn't rain forever, man. I feel like, if you're going through whatever, there's rainbows. And rainbow is a sign of good and happy times, you feel me? And the verse that sticks with me is Romans 8:18. We said it before, but the pain that you're feeling right now can't compare to the joy that's coming. And I feel like if you're going through something, seeking help is the first step. I know it could be hard, I know it could be suffering, I know it could be, unusual, I know it could feel like something different, but taking that first step is a step of, finding yourself again. So, the rainbows and the rain, it's not going together, bro. The sun's coming.
Sabu, snap it on, man.
Alright, Gabriel, what would you say?
Hey, Sabu, can't stop.
Gabriel, take away. Give him some.
To be honest, what I would say is, I know we're doing a podcast, but for real, this is for us too. I enjoy us doing this, or sitting down, I'm talking about how we feel and stuff like that. I like this. That's my big takeaway. This is for us too, not for the audience and not for the people. Y'all don't mess the mic up. But
Typical Gabe.
Archie, what was the takeaway?
Come on, Sabu.
Bro.
Hey, ACL,
Slapping the middle of that for.
But heal up. Let me heal up now, man.
Yeah, man.
Alright, my man.
I mean, wait,
say
man.
something to people. Yeah. Touch them with a few words.
Few words.
Yeah.
I don't know, dang. Put me on the spot, bro.
You're supposed to be thinking.
Come on, man. You the smartest man in the room.
I've been thinking.
Lock in.
I would say, just have, like Maribel said, have a community, make some friends, be curious, learn about everybody. I would say, get to really know people. I feel like we know each other very well. We've gotten to know each other very well over a short period of time, so it's pretty well. Yeah. So just get to know your community, check on them, make sure they're good.
Sabu,
Tight.
Are you good?
Something's good, bro. Something's good, bro.
Good. Respect.
For me, I'll say,
Is good.
love your neighbors as yourself.
Top.
Yeah.
Short, sweet.
Love that.
Love your neighbor as yourself, man. Because when it comes to mental health, you feeling okay mentally, physically, emotionally, just love people, because it all circle back to you. It circle back to you too. So love people, man. That's my peace of mind.
Love that.
That's stupid one. But anyway, man, thank you for tuning in today, man. That's the podcast for today, man. Episode 2, mental health. Thank you, Lopez, for your time. You have work. Time is money. We like to say Monday money. Talking about me.
Gave
Taking money,
Yeah.
I appreciate you so much,
coming
man,
in.
He
for
got you. Okay.
Tuning in.
for dropping some jams.
I appreciate you guys for having me. For real, this is a tough conversation, but it's conversations that need to be had.
We broke the stigma.
Broke the stigma.
End the stigma.
End the stigma.
End the stigma, man. End the stigma. Talk about your feelings, bro. It's okay, Talk about your feelings.
I got one more question before we go. Gotta ask the man, and these man don't like when I hug them. No diddy stuff.
And that's it,
You
bro.
see what I'm saying?
Like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications.
Wait, bro, don't do that. This one don't like me.
Let me go.
Samu, you wanna hug?
No.
You see what I'm saying? Hey, tell me the hey.